Oh, Mr. Wilson!
What do you want?
It stinks.
Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to our channel, Paws On Animation.
And this time we're covering the classic underrated sitcom, The Critic. It stinks!
Jon Lovitz stars as Jay Sherman brilliantly. He's a film critic and host of his own review show where he tells the hard truth about Hollywood movies, even though everyone kind of hates him for it. And it may seem mundane, but Jay's life is anything but ordinary. Just like these movies that he reviews.
Alright.
But
before we start, be sure to like, subscribe, notifications for the future podcasts and all the past videos.
and thank you so much for joining us today. Subscribing, sharing our videos, commenting. Hope you're enjoying your new year. We appreciate everything you do. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes.
So, I actually saw this originally when it aired. And I didn't know if Rascal was going to like it. And for the longest I had been saying, maybe you should watch the first episode. And then I said, you probably won't like it. It may be dated, you don't like it. And she says, I want to see the first episode.
Yeah, because we always try new stuff.
And then she watched the first episode, and then she dragged me down the rabbit hole again because she absolutely loved it.
Yes. And the reason why we ended up watching the whole thing, and you rewatched, is because they have it available for free, the entire series, on Tubi.
Yes.
So if you're interested in seeing this for the first time or rewatching it, it's still on there for you to see for free.
Now, for those of you not familiar with The Critic, and some of you may not be, it was an animated TV show, as we said, revolving around fictional Jay Sherman, and there were 23 episodes of the series. It originally ran on ABC in 1994, and then it finished its original run on Fox in 1995, which is something I didn't know, because I actually saw it all on Fox, which means I probably didn't watch it when it originally aired.
Right.
I watched it when it re-aired.
Right.
And it had the genres of animated sitcom, parody, satire. We should also say adult animation.
Yes.
Because a lot of this comedy is not for kids.
Yeah.
It was created by Al Jean and Mike Rice,
Yes. You might be familiar when you hear the names.
with the music composed by none other than Hans Zimmer, believe it or not.
Right.
And so much of the humor you recognize from The Simpsons
Yes.
and King of the Hill.
Yes, because we ended up seeing these same names on both shows. So this actually predates, I think this predated King of the Hill. And then
Definitely.
The Simpsons were beginning to air sort of the same time. And I do remember watching The Simpsons, and they had the critic on there. But I had no idea who he was at the time because this was years ago. And Molly explained to me that he had his own series long before the episode aired. So they kind of ended up putting them in the same universe. Because even in the critic show, they bring up The Simpsons as the one that's getting more views than his show. And all these people are stupid. They keep watching The Simpsons. The same people working on it. So knowing it's the same universe, only nobody's yellow in here.
Yes. What was really interesting about this show is it parodied films that were out during that time. And my biggest concern was Rascal not getting the references, but she got just about all of them. The few she didn't get, I explained to her, and I'm going to read you a few that were covered. So those of you who recognize the movies, great, and those of you who don't, this will help you to understand more if you decide to watch it.
Yeah.
Some of the notable examples include a musical version of Apocalypse Now, Howard Stern's In for Howard's Inn.
Oh my God.
Honey, I Ate the Kids instead of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. And it was a combination of With the Silence of the Lambs. Instead of The Lion King, The Cockroach King.
Oh my God.
Instead of Ace Ventura Pet Detective, you got Abe Lincoln Pet Detective. And instead of Sin of a Woman, which is something you guys probably won't get, I've never seen it, it starred Al Pacino. And The Wolfman, you know those movies.
Right.
It was called Sin of a Jackass. They referenced Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory,
Yeah,
The Godfather, and a lot of lampooning of actors who came along quite a while ago, even before this was done, like Marlon Brando, Orson Welles, Woody Allen, Dudley Moore.
Right.
And they did it brilliantly.
And I think the most famous one of all that they parody was a sequel to Jurassic Park. And that has been used so much. And now when it shows that they're running from the Velociraptors, and they say, I don't think it's any use to run from them. They're quite smart. And then they also have the pick lock, they have the map, and they have a key, and everything slide on the door. That's because they're the greatest one they've done. And it's so hilarious because the best thing I think for a majority of these is that these are all films that are still classics, ones that have become pop culture. So I think that helps in the humor still working, because if you just stick with the classics and not them rebooting and making the sequels and stuff, all the jokes work.
True. Another thing that works here is it's not just Jay. You meet his crazy ASS family. You meet his Australian friend, who's tall and good looking and more popular, but they're still friends. They're real friends.
Right.
And even as the show progresses, he ends up on a couple of dates with some crazy women.
Oh my god.
And then he ends up finally getting a girlfriend who has a daughter already. But through this crazy ride, it's absolutely hilarious. And you think Jay is crazy, but then you meet his mom and his dad and his sister.
Yeah.
And then you learn that he's kind of normal.
Yeah.
And then you also have his makeup lady, Doris.
Yes.
Who
Oh
in
my
an
god.
episode, he ends up thinking, and she ends up thinking that he's a son that she gave away after he was born.
Yes. Oh
And
my
that's
gosh.
one of the best episodes to watch.
Yes, absolutely. It was silly, but it's still endearing to see, because you see how she acts if you watch the show. She smokes all the time. The smoke detector should be going off like crazy. And she's the one that does his makeup. And she says all this crap to him, but she's relatively nice compared to other people. And then seeing them spend time together just under the suggestion that they could be related and find each other again, and they actually were getting along better. It was actually one of the most endearing parts of the series. That was legitimate.
So I want to read you a description that is given for this show, which I think pretty accurately describes everything. It follows the life of a 36-year-old film critic, so yes, it's an adult, from New York named Jay Sherman. His televised review show, Coming Attraction, airs on the Philips Broadcasting Cable Network. We forgot to mention Philips. Philips is like another version of
Then you
Mr.
Did you say Mr. Larry Tate?
Well,
Is that his name?
that's from something live action, but from animated, Mr. Strickland.
Oh,
He's
okay.
another Mr. Strickland. He's
Yes,
a
it makes
lunatic.
sense.
Now, Sherman's described as cold, mean-spirited, and elitist as a movie critic, but in his everyday life, he has a gentler side, and he's filled with self-doubt about himself because he's overweight, he's losing his hair, and he's incredibly short.
Right.
So his signature line upon seeing a type of film is,
It
stinks.
It stinks.
and each episode is full of film references and parodies. And then you've got secondary characters, as we mentioned, including his adoptive parents and sister, Margot. And then he also has a son, we forgot to mention, named Marty. You only meet his ex-wife once, and you can see why they're not together.
Yeah.
Australian film friends. And he's a movie star, Jeremy Hawk, spelled with an E.
Hawk.
You mentioned Doris, his ex-wife artist. And in the second season, as we mentioned, he gets a love interest.
Yes,
and
finally.
she's a Southern woman named Alice Tompkins, who later becomes his long-term girlfriend. As we mentioned, she has a little girl.
Right.
So that pretty much sums up this show. And if you just want to hear some funny, crazy lines and sarcasm and Jon Lovitz at his best, and truly, this is his best.
Yes.
You need to watch this show.
Yes, absolutely. And if you watched The Simpsons and or King of the Hill, you're going to see so much of their episode ideas and even characters came from this series.
Yes.
Like Jay's son is literally the original Bobby Hill.
Yes.
Even kind of sounds like him. Even had a girl he liked that looked like Connie.
Yes.
It was like so much of this series inspired both, and it's still the same writer, so it was like the precursor to these other long-lasting shows. And it's a little slightly sad because this had 2 seasons and it was like 24 episodes altogether, while King of the Hill now is continuing 14, 15 seasons, Simpsons close to 30 some seasons, and then the Critic only got 2, and it just feels like it got left in the dust. And you really feel bad because the show is genius.
And I think part is people didn't realize the gold mine it was.
Yes.
Comedy. And I think they probably saw the commercials, thought it was something offhand and didn't pay attention. Now, it did have some fall in the ratings, and that's on ABC, and that's when Fox picked it up, and this is before Disney owned Fox, guys.
Right.
And after it got on Fox, the ratings actually began improving, but they still canceled it after 2 seasons. And it continued to air through reruns on Comedy Central and then on Locomotion, which I've never heard of. And then from February 1st, 2000 to 2001, there were 10 webisodes produced using Macromedia Shockwave, and they were broadcast on AtomFilms.com and Shockwave.com. I've never seen them. Maybe we can find them on YouTube.
Right.
And in the late 2000s,
time there.
In the late 2000s, reruns of the show aired again on Reel's channel in the U.S. and on Teletoons in Canada.
Really?
So it was still popular. People wanted to see it. And then we also, back in May, I think, and there's a post here you'll see, where Jon Lovitz said, if you're interested in seeing this series rebooted or revised, let them know. They need so many signatures, and they were asking people to like the post and to comment. Don't know what happened, haven't seen any follow-up on the post,
Right.
But I don't know if it'll be the same because so many things change now when they are revised.
Yeah.
And that bite that he had,
right,
and that personality and all the crazy off-kilter, politically incorrect things that were done, I don't think they're going to let them do it again.
And that is another sad part, because there's so much censorship now, and we're getting little bits of what you used to love to watch in certain movies and shows. It's very little, but we're seeing parts of that come back. But we still are living in a majority where you can't say much of anything because it will offend or piss off somebody or a group or something, and it means nothing. It's all meant to be comedy, non-serious. Everyone's the target of a joke, the butt of a joke with the show, like with other series like South Park and stuff, but they will harass and cancel because they think you're criticizing the entire group, and it's not. And the thing that was ironic with Jay is that he was hated for that exact same thing. Every movie looked like it sucked. He told you it sucked. It was poorly written, badly acted, this, that, and the other. And they would be pissed because some of these people love these movies and they were garbage, and he would tell you they're garbage, and you keep saying you keep getting garbage movies because you keep supporting them, and that's how he ended up getting the hate crowd. And I think the same thing would happen now if he criticized a lot of these movies now that are really bad and really just, nothing like classics. I think it would be even worse, and it will bring to life because it would look like he's attacking Hollywood.
And then they probably wouldn't have the Simpsons writers,
right? It'll be modernized,
right?
To clean it up, and then it won't be funny.
Another thing that happened is you had a lot of guest stars.
Oh my gosh, yes!
And so some of these people you may not be familiar with unless they're really huge stars, but they had a ton of guest stars.
Yes,
including the original. Actual Roger Ebert, and Roger and Ebert. I'm sorry.
Yes,
they had them on there.
That was probably another one of the best episodes.
True.
I am not Robert.
And another standout for it is they had an opening sequence that is known for being different.
Yeah.
Just like The Simpsons had the chalkboard, the sax solo, and the couch gags. The Critic had a distinctive opening sequence featuring minor gags, and Jay is always awakened by a disquieting phone call or radio news report, and he eventually watches a clip that parodies a well-known film before delivering the same negative opinion. It stinks!
Yeah.
He watches the closing credits in the theater and delivers one of 4 comeback lines. 5, once the character of Alex Tompkins was added to the second season, to an usher who tells him the show is over.
Yes.
So, yes, the opening and closing definitely are standouts like The Simpsons.
Yes.
Definitely. And as you mentioned, you've got The Simpsons, this, and King of the Hill, all with distinctive openings and ending credits.
Yes.
And it's fun. It's
Absolutely.
just a really fun show to watch.
Absolutely.
And it was back in March that they talked about the revival. And again, I don't know if it's going to be the same.
Right, we don't know if they're ever going to do it, if at all. And if they do, we don't know if Disney's going to be in charge of it, Hulu, Fox, whichever. Not. So, yeah.
So, quickly going to tell you the recurring cast.
Yes, okay.
Jon Lovitz as Jay Sherman and various other characters. Christine Cavanaugh as Marty Sherman.
Big
yes,
one.
she voiced the Bobby character.
Oh my God.
Nancy Cartwright as Margot Sherman and other characters. Garrett Graham as Franklin Sherman. Judith Ivey as Eleanor Sherman. Doris Grau as Doris Grossman.
Oh my gosh, named after her just about.
Maurice LaMarche as Jeremy Hawk, Shackelford, Principal Mangosuthu, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Orson Welles, Howard Stern, and various other characters.
Yes.
Nick Jameson as Vlada Veramirovich and various other characters.
Oh my God.
Brenda Vaccaro and Rhea Perlman as artists, so they both shared the role.
Right.
Charles Napier as Duke Phillips. Park Overall as Alice Tompkins. Russi Taylor as Penny Tompkins. Kathy Susie as various characters.
Yes.
Tress McNeil as Humphrey the Hippo and various characters. And in the webisodes only, you had Valerie Levitt.
Really? Okay.
So this, again, is a standout that if you just like watching some original or legacy type shows, then this is one you should watch. We guarantee you'll laugh your head off. We'll guarantee you it's funny. And what I learned is that it aged well. Even with all this being decades old and Rascal not knowing a lot of it, she still found it hilarious. And I still found it hilarious after having watched it. It's a great investment of your time. You should give it a watch.
You even had your favorite line in here with the stomach talking.
Yes. Yes. Thank you for pointing that out. That is my favorite line ever. He's talking all this garbage about not eating, and then his stomach says, "What's that rubbish you're feeding the boy?" And I remember for years just laughing at that. So, if you have ever watched The Critic, let us know in the comments. Did you have any favorite episodes? Did you watch it when it originally aired, or in reruns, or on the other networks? Let us know. And if you haven't seen it, again, it's on Tubi, free to stream. We'll have the link in the description. Just go click on it, go there and watch it.
Yes.
Or copy and paste it, whichever you need to do. We promise you, you will absolutely love it. Everything you want in a series is here. You love The Simpsons and you love the King of the Hill show.
Yes.
You're absolutely going to love The Critic too.
Yes. And if you haven't already, subscribe for updates, weekly videos for anime series, anime shows, and all things animation.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us today. Subscribing, sharing our videos, commenting, everything you do. As always, you are special.
Thank you so much for watching Rascal Entertainment
And Mom Entertainment.
Have a fantastic day.
Peace.
It stinks!